Okay.
Okay, so you'll notice that, so I'm gonna explain a few things here. You'll notice that if you have more than 2 tests, you have a dark black line. And that line represents your growth trajectory. But that black line, even though it's in there, can be a little bit misleading if any of your tests were just 1 or 2 kids. Okay, so if you look down below, at the table below, you can see that in this case, here, I'll use yours instead of mine. Lorena tested all of her kids on the first test, and then 1 student in the out-of-test window, and then all of her students the second time. So really, her 2, yeah, this 1 kid that's up at the top is just 1 kid, it's not her whole class. So you just have to recognize that. The 3 small lines that go across are the 25th, 50th, and 75th percentile nationwide. So this kind of shows where your class stacks up nationwide percentile and gives us a better explanation of the graph. So positive things to note is that everybody had growth test 1 to test 2 for their classes. So that is something we should be able to celebrate, because this was our litmus test before we actually got to the middle of the year that the board is going to look at. Like, are we getting growth? Are we doing growth? So questions on this graph in general, or things that you're looking at? We can run this by individual student. So as we start to talk about how individual kids did and whether or not they made growth or didn't make growth, one of the things that you may use as a motivation factor or as a tracking measure for kids to help them see their growth is to print this for kids, this page, and then they can mark their own dots as they go and graph along the way. Miss Math person, you can help with that, right? Cool. And then you can always have pages behind where they journal, what did I do to get growth this time, what do I think I'm going to do? And they can add their own test scores as they go down the line here, so you don't have to keep printing it each time. Okay. So the next thing, so let's put this chart away here and let's take a look at our screening report. Now this screening report is from the beginning of the year, because this report only prints beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year. But there's a reason why I printed this report, and I want us to go through it together, because last time we were together, we chose a couple of kids we thought we could move from unsatisfactory to satisfactory, and then from satisfactory to advanced. And I'm not sure if you guys kept those reports or not. So this is the beginning of the year report. What I would like you to do before we do anything else is on your kiddos here, find the kiddos that you predict that you think you want to move from unsatisfactory to satisfactory or satisfactory to advanced. And let's mark them here on our reports. And these were your kids that you thought are, but these are pretty close. I know I can move them to satisfactory. I know I can move them to advanced. And what is the satisfactory score at the end of the year for third graders? Who knows? What's the satisfactory score at the end of the year for third graders?
359.
359, that's correct. And then what is the advanced score at the end of the year?
548.
548. Okay, so these are kids that we think we can get to a 359 by the end of the year, and kids we think we can get to a 548.
Certainly we can.
So this will be for the end, not middle of the year, right? If we move
So for
kids from
sure, Zayla, Viviana, and
unsatisfactory
Jonah.
to,
You think
Right, so our
Satisfactory?
goal is for
Well,
the
they're
end,
right there.
but we're gonna benchmark it a couple
Or
times before
Zayla's
we
at
get
a
there.
239. At 239, satisfactory was 258.
359.
Right, but for the time being.
Yes. Why don't we wanna look at this, and why do we wanna look at this?
Well, this is where we want to get them, but I
Yeah.
want to know how far they are, like from,
Oh.
like being where they're supposed to be right now.
Oh, good
right?
point. Yeah,
So
that's a good
then
idea,
that
so
would
you
be
can
something
kind
that I
of,
could move.
you can do it that way, or you can do it based on what you know about your kids in
Yes.
class and your other tests and all those other
But
things.
Matthew certainly can pass. He's a smart kid.
excuse me, this one only shows the actual text because we progress monitor all our kids.
Yeah.
A lot
Yes.
of them make
He's a
progress.
I don't know
smart
what he
kid.
just
We're
didn't
not,
do well,
so what
or-
we're doing is because we didn't have, and I didn't tell you guys to keep
Computer
this
has
from
a
the
lot to
beginning of
do.
the year, we're redoing what we did at the beginning
he
of the
does
year,
pen and
right now.
paper, he's gonna do
Then
that.
we're gonna look at our progress monitor growth.
Oh.
So we're redoing what we did at the beginning of the year. We're saying, these are my prediction kids. Then we're gonna look at growth, and then we're gonna make our TLI goal and our Powell goal.
Yeah, but in real life, are those two really close? Those are the two we want at SST. I don't see it. I don't see it.
You know what? We can make it as a goal, and maybe you could put an extra star there, like this is my hopeful goal. This is my real goal, and this is my hopeful goal, right?
Well, I don't teach reading, but my hopeful goal is Matthew.
So we'll put a little extra thing there, we'll have,
Yeah, 'cause I
there'll be
think-
a little hopeful
I know
goal.
he's way up there, but he can do better,
He
for
can.
sure.
Okay,
And he has been on his weekend
Yes,
assessments, he's been
smart.
doing it.
okay. So remember, you're choosing a couple of kids to get to satisfactory and a couple of kids to get to advanced.
Maybe.
Too advanced.
A couple, like two?
Derek, for
It
sure.
depends on what you find manageable. Right, don't choose so much that based on what you're doing, you know it's gonna be unmanageable for you, because teaching is what's most important,
So two
not
in each class.
tracking everybody.
Well, your highest two are from my class.
My highest.
That are in the satisfactory. It's broken, you gotta go another page. Okay, but.
That I wanna move to
Oh, you want two
satisfactory,
in
it would be
class?
Zayla and Mia and Matthew and. It doesn't have to be, but that's who I think I can move.
That's who you think you can move to satisfactory.
To satisfactory.
Okay. And why don't you think you can move these two kiddos?
Well, this little girl just, it doesn't sink in, it just, she,
Yeah, we were SST her today.
Okay, perfect. And why not this one?
I think I can.
Jonah?
Yeah,
Jonah sped also.
he sped.
So you think you can?
From
Star him. Put a little H next to your star,
I'm
and
gonna
your
disagree
hopeful
with
goal.
this.
She's gonna put a little H next to it as her hopeful goal. Okay, and what
Because
about,
we just catch Jonah on a good day, that's the problem.
so then it will be about goal setting and rewards and extrinsic.
But
all
like, think
those
about it,
things.
so he's special ed, so he gets one-on-one
Uh-huh.
testing, and he didn't have any of that.
Okay.
when he was a
So, yeah. So, and then which of the
I think
kids,
so he gets oral. I think so he gets oral.
what about the kids to get to advance? Did you choose those kids yet?
I think she's gonna stay on satisfactory. Oh yeah, he'll go up.
Mila también.
What about Brooke?
También,
Simón, sí.
What about
yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah?
No.
Shane.
And then Anthony's John Lennox, I was gonna say.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
because they're two different classes.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I mean, whatever's manageable.
Yeah, so these will be
Porque mira, he has a 360,
And he
like the
needs a
two in
what?
one class and two in the other.
548.
548.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, has everybody chosen their satisfactories and their advances?
That's shocking.
Lilian
To me.
y Jaime.
Right.
Sienna?
Yes.
He does nothing.
Andrew? I think so.
Uh-huh. So that's why data is so much more
Shelby?
important than our
Yes.
perception sometimes.
Adriana,
because-
yes. Saria,
Well,
yes.
we don't see and they don't, I mean,
Yes.
sometimes they.
And he does
Yes.
have a lot of
Yes.
medication.
Grace?
Yes, he's on a
Yes.
lot of medication.
Angela? Yes. Breezy? I think
Okay.
A lot of medication.
That's a lot.
so.
Everybody
And
chose
these
their
are already in
To
advance.
wake up in the morning, to function, to go to sleep at night.
All right. So now that we have
Riley tells
redone what we did last time on our screening report,
Right?
pull out your growth report.
A lot.
But keep your screening report to the side because you're going to put the new scores next to those kids you chose. We're gonna look at whether or not kids made growth, but you're gonna put the new scores next to the scores on your screening report. That way we can see if the kids we chose are actually making growth. And your growth report shows the first test, then it shows the second test, and it gives you your scale scores and your, how many points they increased.
So this doesn't have this new data.
This has the new data, this is the old data. So Mia Weiss.
Hopeful.
Okay, she's your hopeful, let's see if she made growth. Let's look, let's see what we did. She made 77 points growth, right?
Wow.
So right here, next to her 113, you're gonna put a 190.
last page.
And then, so I know who's really made growth and who hasn't, I just put a little smiley face next to the ones who have, and I put a little sad face next to the ones who don't. But we wanna know, so who's next?
So Matthew Taylor.
Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, look at that.
Oh my
Look
goodness.
at that.
Plus
272. Ching-ching.
I told you Matthew's smart.
Okay.
Wow.
So put a
Yeah, but
404 next to
Yeah.
him. Okay. Do we have
Jonah.
Really, Jonah?
That's what she said, like has all these off
From
days.
Varsity Street,
She's
right?
13.
Okay, okay.
I think
Plus
that
13.
day.
I think 13 is kind of a.
It's a lot.
No, no, 211.
Porque that's what
Yes,
she
oh,
said.
that's right.
Sí, porque mira, the first time she has a 180.
This is your column for your
Pero I
skills
think
book.
she's coming
And then right underneath it.
Okay, next one.
And what about Zayla? Down
Plus
Mira, he
71.
made growth.
So she's
Three
up by
points.
10.
92, he went up to 296.
Okay, so did all of those make growth?
Yes.
Okay.
Sí,
Right. Did all of
entonces he's in
yours make growth?
296.
You're the ones you chose
By
to
the
get,
end
to
of
go
the
from
day,
satisfactory to advanced?
359.
Yes, and there's
He's-
one little boy up here.
Yes,
Instead
so
of
we got
121, he grew
the
plus
next one,
91.
Jeremiah Levy.
Wow.
He también he improved
Yeah, maybe so.
from 202, 423.
95 for
So
John
he-
Luke, so what's his new scale score is
He improved to 20.
473.
Nice.
So is that,
Are we going with the advanced?
These are
yeah,
reading
so
the
it's still
first
not
one.
quite advanced, but
But what was his?
So write
It
the
was
scale
from-
So for
scores.
him, if he's now in
473?
472, he can come from
Good.
answering factory, we
And
can
then
put
who
him
else do we
already
have?
in.
Anthony
advanced
Johnson?
by the
We
end.
might be able
We
to,
can be-
yeah, cause maybe our
we
progress
can
monitoring is
project
better, yeah. So put the scale scores next to the new scale
You
scores next to them
separate that
here,
out.
so that we can see them and
No
see
growth
the
yet?
growth. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, your advanced, the ones, that- okay, Jones.
Jeremiah,
Jones,
he
did great.
He did great.
Plus
473.
95. Ooh,
Yes, Caleb,
okay.
but she sucked the brains out of it.
Anthony Johnson, I just
Oh.
sucked the brains
he's
out of him.
You
in,
did, yeah, okay,
No,
so
no,
334.
yes.
So somehow
422.
note that that's a down, that you know, okay, and then Derek Cox.
Oh, dear. He
Two
has
ninety-six.
103. His new scale score is 536. He is almost there.
Woohoo!
296.
Mm-hmm.
Y luego Jenaya,
Plus 2.
See, that's my
So
concern.
statistically
She's in
insignificant, we
307.
would say, a
Right.
plus 2. And actually, plus 2 is almost a down. I know that's where you were going,
Right.
because we're expecting them to grow mid-year. What did you find?
Oh, this is from beginner to middle, huh?
They don't have a
Creo que es one of
growth
those
score.
two that she has good and bad days.
So guys, can I draw your attention really quick over here?
Yeah.
So Patricia noticed that there were kids at the bottom that aren't on this report, they don't have a growth score. That's because they actually have to have 2 scores. So they may be new kids, they may be kids that changed classes or something they didn't do. That's why I printed for you the summary report. So the next report, the summary report lists all the kids and their last test score. So if they only have 1 test score, they're on this. If they have 2 test scores, it takes their last score. So what I would do is I would go to this report and I'd add their score here so you can see kind of where they're at. And so if any of you find the same thing, you might be wondering why all the kids aren't listed, that's why.
Are they from highest to lowest, or they're just?
No, just ABC.
I did rank them. I ranked, on your summary report, I ranked them highest to lowest.
Was that the one
1
that
to,
she has?
just so that you would know who the highest scoring kids
the
are in your
summary.
class and who the lowest are,
Is-
regardless
on
of
this
growth
one?
they
Is
make.
the
Summary,
window
next one.
open right now
On this one?
to do the progress
On
monitor?
this one.
What?
Is the window open?
I'll check, I think we left it open through December 7th, didn't we?
The 8.
We can still open it for, we just, all you do is just change that next date, and it just adds it longer, is all. So if you change the date, you could take those 4 kids in there and do it, and then rerun this report, and
By
then you have
window?
their growth. It doesn't matter, I think we could open it all the way through, I'm pretty sure the end of next week, and maybe a couple of other days, and we'd still be within that 30-day window.
Oh, okay, so we have to progress monitor next week.
So it just has to be a 30-day window.
So Jenna, we can do the same thing. Yeah, could you run it with me? Because I'd really like to see them. You can run them here, I can look at them this afternoon.
Yeah, I will when she,
Okay.
390.
because I'm gonna have to do, I am paying for some.
A ver, Francisco.
She's learning to teach,
I'm
so that's like a
learning this.
different lens.
I'm like, a little nervous.
But if we run them this afternoon,
But
that
I'm
would be
also
awesome. We could do
videotaping,
it.
and I'll leave this,
Me and
I'll
Vanessa could do
send
it
you
this
these tonight
afternoon.
in
Nice.
place.
She's gonna do the math for us, and we'll do this afternoon.
But this growth report,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can use it all year, like it
Yes.
will not drop any of the scores?
No, in fact, when you look into do the growth report, you can add different windows to add in there. I only had 2 because of these 2. But if you, in your growth report, it encompasses the test and it'll show you change. In fact, let me pull it up there.
Because then we could almost just go by the summary.
So I'm gonna put a reminder in my phone, girl, cause we need to remember to do that on Monday. Right?
What?
Progress monitoring.
Okay.
Okay, everybody
Monday the
almost
12th?
ready to move on with some analyzation once we've put all the scores there?
Sure. Mira, el hunter,
How are you guys doing? Almost got them written in?
We have to do all of them?
No, the ones that you thought you could move.
Oh, cause
Oh,
we're
yeah.
moving along too.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead, do the rest of them then, so you have them all there. While she's finishing hers in too, I want you to find your highest, how many kids made 100 points growth or more? 50 to 100 points, and how many kids made the fewest growth? So, under 20 points or less than growth. So that would be decay, right? Find your kids that made the most growth. Who are the kids that made the most growth with our target group? We're gonna call them our target group. Who are the kids that made the most growth? And then who are kids that didn't make enough growth in your
Or
mind?
if they regressed?
Or if they regressed, if they regressed or didn't make growth.
Looking at the growth report?
Looking at the kids that you determined, so we're gonna use our little target
So we're
group.
looking at 50 plus?
50 plus points in our little target group. The kids that you highlighted in your little target
All
group.
of them made except for right Anthony, right?
But did they make the kind of growth that is acceptable to you? So is 2 points growth, well, it technically shows a plus there, but is that acceptable to
No.
you for growth? Okay, that's what I'm asking, this is the teacher lens.
Yeah, no.
Just of those kids, right?
Just of those kids, because you can analyze all your kids on your own time, but we can only analyze a few here.
But we're only doing your runners, not one of your groups. So who am I looking at? So Mia, did you already see that? I'll tell it.
Yeah.
You write it down. You already
No,
wrote
but I
down?
already know
You
that
already wrote it down?
she went from a 113 to a 190. That's acceptable growth.
Okay, and Matthew?
Matthew,
200, right?
Wait, yeah.
Jonah?
Jonah plus 14.
So not really. Not really for Jonah. Zayla?
Zayla went from a 239 to a 310. So no.
239 to 310, just give or take 50, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bueno, let's start going. Mira.
So then the other ones?
The high ones?
See how you choose your 2 ranges, or you choose your custom dates. So it'll always give you 2 comparison points. You choose the 2 comparison points that
We're
you
gonna
want.
do 3.
And
50
as you go
plus,
further in the year,
50
you may not care about the
minus,
beginning of the year
and the
comparison
ones that
point,
they
to then you may wanna know the point growth for the last 2 tests. Or you may want beginning of the year till now for overall point growth. You decide. And you put it in.
But I need to know what the window is.
Class
No.
167.
You can put a predefined date range. So you can say, I know we took a test in December, and so I'm gonna put December 1st through February 2nd, because I just want these last 2 tests. Or I know I want the beginning of the year, and we took that in September, so I'm gonna go September 1 until,
Bueno, I'm gonna circle 50 plus.
oh, and Anthony, we don't know what happened.
So it's plus 95, Anthony didn't make growth, plus 103, and plus 2.
Just 50 plus, and then kids you don't consider making the kind of growth that you would have wanted to see. That's probably regression, it may be just a little bit of point growth.
Can't wait to see the math on Riley. I really just can't wait to see it. Can you fail a kid who's done such great on these reports, and that's a real question, because he's failing.
Riley?
Riley's failing my class.
Because he doesn't do the work.
Well, that's why he's failing, that's what I'm saying, so.
So
can
that
you
has
be so
nothing to
high
do-
on this and still fail?
Because what do you grade on?
Yeah, because
You grade on production of work, and based on the production of work, you assess their levels, right? If they don't produce work, you cannot assess their levels. You grade the work and how they do on it. So
So
if
when
he's failing,
when
you
I
grade
fail
that.
him, are people gonna look at this score and go, really?
Well, no, because they know he didn't, they look at their report card, they know he didn't do the work. Having said that, the question becomes, are we grading what we're asking him to do in class, or are we grading what he knows?
Right.
And it's a
That's
little
the
bit of
question.
both as we go through school, because you have to learn how to do life. You can't just say, I'm smart, I don't have to do anything my boss tells me to do.
Right.
On the other hand, we also have to somehow incorporate in the kinds of knowledge we know he knows, because when he goes to the next level, if he got an F here, his fourth grade teacher assumes that he doesn't have any understanding of third grade material, right? But technically he does. So you're kind of in a quandary here, because you guys don't really practice standards-based grading as a whole. In this district, we don't. But that's what standards-based grading is designed to do, is to take out the gap of production of work and instead go, the work I give you tells me your level, and that's what goes in the system. And based on once you've mastered that level, you move forward, and so the levels go to the next grade level. So with Riley, my question would be, if he's not doing anything in class based on all the other things that are going on, is there some kind of structure we could put into place that motivates work effort, because he has to learn to do life, but that also allows us to grade a little differently so we can see his level, so it's not misleading.
Well, when he
as
does
goes on.
work, and when I do have a para in there who sits right on top of him, oh, he gets A's. He got a 91 on his last math test. But that's only if somebody sits on top of him. And then, and I'm in like, and if he's feeling like.
Yeah, and so these are very important to us so that we can understand, you know, what he really knows, right?
Yeah.
Where's he at on yours?
He's super high.
Yeah, look at that.
In reading, he's in reading, but yeah.
Let me tell you from somebody who was super high, who was sent to a grade level above in reading and math all the way through elementary school, what happened in middle school when they stopped doing that. Lead in the teacher's doors. One of my teachers had a birthmark on her tongue, and so I would suck on purple sprees, and I would go, all period, right? Because I was forced into the box of everybody else, and I couldn't function with that boredom, and it turned to negativity. His boredom may be different, and if he's that smart and he's always been forced in the box of everybody else, we're trying to undo all that negative perception he has of school, because he's got no reason to be motivated to learn.
Have we had an ARD since they said he's autistic and all that? Or did they just tell us? He got tested and they said-
Okay, so everybody has their, so let's start, let's go around the table.
At the beginning of the year.
How many of your kids made the point growth you would have expected, that you liked? First of all, how many kids did you choose as your little target kids?
I have, 5 kids. Well, one of the kids only had one test, so
Okay.
so of the 5 kids, only, well, 2 of the highest kids were down,
Okay,
like minus 56.
okay, I'm gonna stop you there. Anybody else's high kids didn't make the growth that they expected? Okay. Okay, keep going.
Okay, so one was, minus 56 points. One little girl was minus 283 points.
Okay.
And she's the highest one in the class. And I'm not sure if that day she just didn't take the test well, or maybe she just was in a hurry to finish so she could do something else.
Okay,
Yeah, that sounds like a bad.
okay,
And
so,
then,
go ahead.
oh, and I was just gonna say the other 2 plus 91 plus 64.
Okay. Hey, what about you two? Because you guys are sharing the same kids, right?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about your
Most of our
kids.
kids did, had that growth, so we had one in the group that we're trying to put to satisfactory that didn't make the growth. And the same thing with the high kids,
Okay. Oh,
one
2.
that didn't make the,
Cause Anthony didn't make it and Brooke only made +2.
Okay. What about your class? Are you guys sharing, or are you guys,
Yes,
okay, so
we
tell me
share.
about you guys' class.
We have 2 kids that didn't
How
make
many
the
overall
grade.
did you choose?
We chose about 4.
Okay.
2 were high kids that didn't make the growth we expected from them. And then we have, like a tier 3 kid, and he regressed 102 points.
Okay. Okay. Do you all remember when we went over this report for Powell, we said one of our issues here at Powell is not that our kids aren't passing, because we have high achievement, right? We have high achievement, we are closing the achievement gaps, and our post-secondary readiness is great, because the lines are where the state standard was, and we're far above those. But we aren't earning distinctions, right? And distinctions we earn because kids get to that advanced level. So instead of being at the satisfactory level on the state test, they're at the advanced level on the state test. Okay? We also really struggled in the area of student growth. So the state bar was 32 and we only got a 33. And student growth is where kids do better on the state test from one year to the next, and significantly better, right? If they do better from like 80 to 100 points or so, then give or take, we can look up the exact numbers, then that's worth 1 point to us here in this category. But if they exceed growth and they make a lot of growth, they get 2 points for us in this category. So they double our money, we say. So that's why when I asked you who made the expected level of growth and who didn't, it's not just about making growth, it's about making enough growth to count as student progress, and then enough growth hopefully to exceed growth for here. So we're hoping to exceed growth so that we get better in this category, and then we're hoping to get more kids to level 3, advanced level, which is why we chose those. And it's funny that you all bring up, gosh, some of our higher kids that we chose to move up didn't make the level of growth. Because I found the same thing in 4th grade. They said, wow, you know, our kids at the lower level all made lots of growth, but our kids at the upper level who were moving aren't making as much growth. And so, that is one of the reasons why we aren't getting distinctions, because we're not getting kids to that upper level.
The test gets harder? Or is it the same test over and over?
The Renaissance test?
Mhm.
The Renaissance test expects growth throughout the year. That's why the scale score, like right now, for them to be satisfactory is different than the scale score at the end of the year. That's why I said a +2 is statistically insignificant, because it really means they kind of didn't see. So let's talk a little bit about your upper level kids and interventions that you have for them and things you do. What is it that you do differently with your upper level kids, or kids who are kind of above standard, we're trying to move to the higher level, or your highest kids in class?
More kind of think on your own kind of stuff. Well, then
Okay.
how would you change, whatever it is?
Okay, so you ask them questions that go deeper, that kind of ask them to analyze their own work from where they're currently at to get to another level, okay? Anything else you guys can think of?
They'll get the books for AR on their level, so they get tested. If it's a high kid, they get those kind of questions, like more
Okay.
higher thinking.
So for AR,